How you guys doing? This is Covert Radio. And can I share something with all of you? Normally I don't do this here. I wouldn't do it here. I do have, other channels, but I want to share something with you if I may. I've told you guys over the years that nobody's normal, you know what I mean? I don't know. I guess I'm an odd dude, you know what I mean? I don't know. I wouldn't say I have a photographic memory, but I have some sort of a thing where, I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of like a photographic memory, but like certain smells will give me an image in my head, and like certain sounds will give me a color or an image. It's so weird. And I don't even know if I could be diagnosed with anything. I think I have Asperger's though, but we've talked about that. I ain't getting into all this. But I just had a vision. It startled me, to be honest with you. And then I just had a flood. It was like a download. I always talk about the download that we get. You can call it from wherever you want. Tesla believed in the ether, and I believe in the ether. I also believe in God. I believe in a creator. Some people do, some people don't. I'm not here for that. But the ether is a field that isn't discussed anymore. There's a guy on YouTube named Ken Wheeler, and he's like a Mensa genius. This dude is a genius with magnetism, and he's a really cool guy. Like he's a photographer, and we click on that level. He's written a bunch of books. He's actually world renowned, and it's odd that he has such a small following. Like his live streams will only be a couple hundred people. It's if that, you know what I mean? It's just very, I get him, you know what I mean? Like we kind of vibe. So, I don't know. It's just odd. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm pretty sure I should have been diagnosed with something, because I get visions, but they don't mean what I see. It always, not always, but a lot of times it means something else. And I was just getting ready to record the Sunday show, and I got this vision in my head, and I just had a flood. Like I said, a download. Again, call it the ether, call it whatever you want. But, Ken also talks a lot about the ether and the fact that it's it's a metaphysical realm, and there's a lot of information there. And if you're able to adjust your antenna, which literally comes out of the top of our heads, if you can adjust it and tune it, Tesla also believed this. You can read a lot of his writings. You can download information and I also believe that too. Like if there's a death, close to you. I had a friend who is very, very, very close to his mother, and we were talking one time. He's like, Covert. He's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. He's like, I can't imagine my life one day without my mom. And I'm just like, I thought that way too. You know what I mean? Like and I've even tried to imagine, what my mom would look like in her coffin. It's just, I tried to prepare, but you cannot prepare. And, I feel like you get this download where 2 hours prior, you can't fathom being able to deal with it. But somehow you walk in the funeral home, you walk up to the casket, and somehow you can, somewhat keep it together. But I think it's the same way too when a father holds his baby for the first time. You get this instant download, and it's like, 2 hours prior, it's like me, and I'm working, and money, and this, and my car, and I gotta get this, that. You hold your son for the first time, and you're literally like, my life for you. Like, I will die for you, literally, but you didn't have that 2 hours prior. So it's like, but I got this download and I seen this vision and this just story popped into my head. And I'm like frantically typing, and I can't type. Like I hunt and peck, you know what I mean? Well, not really, but I only only type with 2 fingers. But I just want to run it past you guys because it's so true, and it's so symbolic of what's happening right now. And I'm sure I could keep writing, but I just feel like getting it out so I can move on to the Sunday show. So this is going to be kind of like a little interlude in between the video I just put up and in the Sunday show. So everything, it came in this one vision of this woman I saw sitting in this room. And I named this little story, As You Are, So Was I. As you are, so was I. A warning from me to you. Because I was once human too. Signed, Amallia, the Amalgamation. And this is the story. And it ain't going to be long. And this is all fiction, it's hypothetical, but let's just say I elect myself the power of attorney over you. You didn't ask for it, you didn't want it, you didn't think it would happen, but I decided one day that I am now in complete control of you, of your health and your money. You don't know me, and I really didn't know you, but now I'm in control. And once I give you this information and you're well aware of who I am and the role I said I'm going to play, I let about a month go by. And I come back to your house and I knock on the door and you answer and I tell you, I say, you know what? Your neighbor next door there, who's also your coworker, the girl, you work with at the office, she got the sniffles. So what we're going to do is, you can volunteer, but I'm telling you, I'm going to do this. I'm going to lock you in your house for 15 days. 15 days and then 16 days. And you're in your house and 17 days went by and here we are 20 days. And we're on the 25th day and you're still in your house and you're like, man, what is going on? I hope she's okay. So I show back up and I knock on the door and I stand in the doorway and we have a conversation. And I tell you, your neighbor, you remember she was sick, she had the sniffles, and you're like, yeah. She now has a cough. So she has the sniffles and she has a cough. And again, we're like 25 days, since really the last time you saw me and that you've been locked in your house. Now, you don't know this. You've been locked in your house. You can't verify anything. You haven't seen or talked to your neighbor. But you really have no choice but to believe me. Because again, I elected myself the power of attorney over you. And I asked you to trust me. And I have a suit on. I have a very expensive suit on. And I'm a big guy, I'm 6'4", and I just exude authority. So you really have no reason not to believe me. I asked you to trust me, so, I tell you, I know what I'm talking about. Remember, I'm the self-elected authority over you. So those 15, 17, 20, 25 days, all of that, and your neighbor, your coworker with the cough and the sniffles, those days turn into nights, turn into days, turn into nights. And now we're at the 4-month period. And I show up again at your house and I say, you know what? You can no longer work, Amallia. You can no longer work. The reason is because your neighbor, she has the sniffles. She had the cough. I told you about that. Now she has a headache. So I think that it's best that you lock yourself in your house, and I'm going to come back in about a year. And everything should be okay by then. That way you're protected, you're safe. Just stay in your house for a year. And the reason for that, just in case it's not clear, the reason for that is so that you won't catch her cough, you won't catch her sniffles, and you will not catch her headache. Goodbye. 1 year passes. Year goes by, and it flew by. You're like, man, I feel different. You know, it's everything doesn't, I don't know. It's just everything's different. Everything's like off. I feel off, unbalanced. So knock, knock, knock. I show up again. I'm standing on your doorstep there, and I'm holding my hat in my hand, and I have a, sort of sad look in my face. And I tell you, your neighbor, your coworker, the one that had the sniffles, the cough, and the headache, well, she's about to die. She's on the brink of death. So this is what we've decided, me and my colleagues, the people who share the authority over you. Because, without your consent, that's okay, because I have power of attorney. So I delegated other responsibility to other people. We've come to a conclusion. What's best for you? You better allow me to cut your nose off. I'm like, cut my nose off? What are you talking about? No, and listen, I have all the science. I have all the science. I have all the science and the facts. And what I'm telling you is bacteria, the same bacteria that caused your neighbor, your coworker to be on the brink of death, that bacteria can float up into your nostrils, and it can lay there, and it can get you infected, and it's going to cause you to get sick, just like she did, and then you will be on the brink of death. You need me to cut your nose off. That's the only way this is going to start to heal. This is the only way this is going to assure you do not get sick like your neighbor did. You're hesitant, but you have, again, you have no option. You didn't even think of another option. So you hesitantly allow me to cut your nose off. And I leave. A few weeks goes by, you're stuck in your house, you're worried about your neighbor who's your coworker. You're in a lot of pain. But you can't even look at yourself in the mirror. You can't stand the sight. So you start settling down into some dark depression. It's something you've never really experienced before. You start to regret a little bit. You start to regret allowing me to cut your nose off. You're like, did I do the right thing? Should I have allowed this to happen? But I don't want to be sick, and I don't want to die. So you have an idea. You're like, wait a minute. Let me go out to the internet. I still have the internet. Even though I can't leave my house, I can go out through the airwaves. You know what I mean? I can go out through the internet. And I'm going to search for a few things. I'm going to search if cutting your nose off will keep you from getting sick. And I want to see what other people are saying. What are other doctors saying? I want to see, can that really help you? Is this going to help me? However, when you get out to the internet and you're on the World Wide Web, you are inundated. You are flooded. Everywhere you look, every website you go to, you're inundated with horror story after horror story, video after video after video of people dying. Morgue trucks, freezer trucks, people dying because they didn't get their noses cut off. They did not get their noses cut off. And now you're starting to feel slightly better. The pain isn't so severe. Maybe the depression's lifting a little. You're like, oh my goodness. Those people, they should have listened. They should have listened to the guy that has the authority over me. They should have got their noses cut off. And you're looking. You see all the death in the stories and the headlines. And there you see the same exact doctor that you have seen every day for the past year, over a year. You see the same doctor. Now he's on the internet too. It's the same guy that's been on the news, and he is telling everyone, cut your nose off. Cut your nose off. It's the only way. It's the only way that we are ever going to get back to normal. You must cut your noses off. And no matter what you search for, no matter what keywords you use or websites you go to or what search engines you try to use, no matter what, you cannot find any opposing views from other doctors. You can't find any opposing information. You cannot find any scientist that have a different opinion than the same doctor you've seen every day. And you sit there and you try day after day after day. You go here, you go there, you try this site, you try that site. And here you see snippets. You see little snippets on this search engine, and there's a screenshot of an image of a website that says this, and you're like, wait a minute, there's something right there. These are other doctors. They're saying something different. And you click, and you catch a video, and this doctor screaming, "Stop! Stop! This is madness! This is madness! Do not cut your nose off. Do not listen to me, please. I've been a doctor for 35 years. Please listen. Do not cut your noses off." And you're frazzled. You're like, oh my God. What? This is totally different. I mean, And for over a year, the same doctor is telling me the same thing. My friend, my coworker is dying. I've already cut my nose off. But you got this guy's. So you go and you try to make yourself a cup of tea. You want to relax. You want to come back, maybe calm down a little bit. You go back later to watch the full video of what this doctor was trying to present. And it's nowhere to be found. It's nowhere to be found. No matter how much you tried, no matter how much you tried to remember what he was saying, you try to search for it, it's dead end after dead end after, fact checkers. Well, geez, they're saying the same thing this doctor has been saying for the last, year and some months. Oh, well, I mean, I guess I'm all right. I'm not sick, but I don't have my nose, and I can't look at myself in the mirror. 2 years go by. Winter, spring, summer, fall. Winter, spring, summer, fall. You've lost your job. You're broke. You've lost contact with friends, relatives. Everybody is just seemingly in their own world. Everything's off. Everything's off. Nothing is how it used to be. Nothing. You have no nose. But now, you started coughing. And you got a cough. And now you're getting a headache. And the pain is just, it hurts so bad. Oh, my head hurts so bad. So you turn on the news that night, and you're just holding your head and you're trying to pay attention, and there's the doctor, the same guy you've seen every day. Over 2 years. Over 2 years. And all of a sudden he says, Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Alert, alert, alert. For all of you that had your noses cut off, bad news. Bad news. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because now the bacteria is entering through people's mouths. You need to get your mouth sewn shut. You need to get your mouth sewn shut. It's the only way. It's the only way this is going to stop. You're sick. You're coughing. You have a headache and you don't know what to do. You can't even think straight. Everything you've ever known, everything you've believed, chicken noodle soup, honey, whatever, things your grandmother would tell you. All the years of your adult life being sick and knowing what to do, now you don't know what to do. Nothing applies anymore. You don't even try anymore because you're just being told day after day after day after day. The same doctor is still on the news every day, over 2 years. And he's telling people, you got to get your mouth sewn shut. You've got to get your mouths sewn shut. It's the only way. Sew your mouth shut to protect your other neighbor. Now we're going to fast forward 3 years, 8 months since I came knocking on your door. You have no hands because the same doctor said that touching things causes the bacteria to spread. You have no eyes. You have no eyes anymore because the same doctor said the bacteria is entering through your eyes. So we got to pluck them out. You have no ears anymore because the chance of the bacteria entering your ear had to be taken care of. You have no ears at all. You have no nose, and your mouth now has been surgically sealed with a skin graft. Because the same doctor said that the bacteria can get through the stitches. So everybody that had their mouths sewn shut, like the good doctor said, they had to go get skin grafts and surgically seal their mouth. You sit alone day after day after day. It's gray every day. It's dark. You see shadows. That's it. And it's just the shadows of your mind. It's the fog the memories, you start to wonder, did I even experience that? Is that really what life was? Was this my life? Am I still alive? You're in a room that's 8 by 5. It's the size of a small prison cell. You do know you're on the 78th floor of a cold, dark, towering apartment building. And you're just waiting for the next shot of NutraPaste to pass down through the tube that has been surgically placed into your stomach. While you watch the solution drip, 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 drip into your vein, day and night, day and night, night and day. You never see the sun anymore, but you know it's been winter, spring, summer, fall, winter, spring, summer, fall, winter, spring, summer, fall. And now you're in the darkest winter you've ever experienced in your life. Perpetually dark, perpetually cold. Day and night, day and night. You'll never, ever see the sun again. You will never see the sun anymore. You will never feel the warm embrace. You sit alone, waiting to die. Day after day, you sit there and you just think to yourself, what would my life have been like if I never, ever, ever allowed them to cut off my nose? I'm Covert Radio. I hope you enjoyed this. Like I said, this isn't typically what I put on this channel, but I wish I could explain to you that the vision I saw in Amallia, Amalgamation. Again, it's just a fictitious story that flooded me in a matter of 10 minutes. I just pray to God that she's not real. In some distant planet, some distant reality, some distant vein of life. I just hope she's not real. And I hope that's not our future. I love you guys. You guys take care. Have a good day.